Carolina First Alert Weather.
Hey there, everyone. It is 5:47 on this Tuesday morning. We are talking very similar temperatures to what we normally see this time of year today. Actually, a degree above, which we haven't had in, weeks at this point? A long time. Your actual versus your average, very similar, though, nowhere close to that record of 101. And your lows actually pretty spot on. This is for the upstate, similar for the mountains. Forecast of 83 degrees and that average of 84. As we go on throughout the day, you'll notice very much so summer-like temperatures out there. Starting off warm and fairly muggy, 72 degrees in Greenville, 70 in Spartanburg, 70 in Union, hanging out in the low 70s for a lot of us in the upstate. Temps have dropped a couple of degrees just because we've had some clearer skies, like in areas in Greenville and north of that. Bryson City, 62, 62 in Waynesville, a couple degrees cooler within Hendersonville regions, despite the northeast winds, northwest winds coming in. A calm wind in certain areas, still no movement, and therefore seeing some foggy conditions like within the mountains, Franklin region more so. A lot of low clouds from Greenville to Lawrence, Greenwood. So those clouds hanging out with us today. Some thick foggy conditions too in certain areas like the mountains. Seeing just a little bit of better visibility in Franklin. Not much though. Still watch out for patchy to dense fog in certain areas. Greenwood, Newberry down quite a bit too. Less than half a mile until you run into that fog. So low beams this morning if traveling those regions as well. Keep yourself in mind. Daybreak is when we'll start to see, I think, some lighter fog come on in, at least getting a break from it, not as dense. And then some cloud cover sticking around until this afternoon. That's when we have the better chance of seeing a bit more sunshine out there. And the mountains actually already seeing clearer skies too. So warming quite a bit to the upper 70s, the low 80s throughout the afternoon in the upstate, despite the northeasterly winds and the northwesterly flow in the mountains. And then hanging out in the low 80s. I think maxing out in 82, 83 degrees. Cloud cover sticking around. It kind of looks a bit daunting, but we will get those breaks of sunshine as we go on throughout the day. A little bit of green on the map there from areas like Anderson, Lawrence, and south of that. I do think you stay dry. All of us staying dry majority of the day today, mostly sunny skies, and there's a good chance that does continue for most of your Wednesday. Maybe just a very isolated sprinkle chance on Wednesday. Otherwise, we are totally dry. We're not talking a lot of rain today or tomorrow, but that will certainly come in the days ahead. So your upstate forecast showing that big change coming our way. Today we get that cold front, that really, front in general, just to sag southward. So it's going to bring in a lot of drier air, sticking around today and tomorrow for the most part, with times of sun, times of clouds out there, and letting us warm today since we do have that drier air in place and some sunshine, getting us to above normal values, feeling the upper 80s, the low 90s in certain areas, like summer, and then we get those temperatures to drop. Late August, normally we see 85, 86, 87 degrees, so it's pretty typical. Getting more rain chances in, especially on Friday, that would be your wettest day. Sky conditions pretty much the same for the mountains, just a tad cooler for our highs and our lows, the low 80s and the mid 60s for your lows, the low 80s for your highs. Now let's get